Hello, everybody. This is Hondo Carpenter, your Las Vegas Raiders beat writer on SI and the host of the Las Vegas Raiders Insider podcast. It is great to be with you today. Thanks for joining me. Today was the fourth and final practice before pads come on tomorrow. A lot of stuff to talk about today. We're going to dig into all of that. First of all, let me just say approximately 2,000 members of Raider Nation were here today. I know the players absolutely love it. So do the coaches when the fans are here. And so, again, I'm here at headquarters inside the closet in the media room, but um, it was great to see Raider fans here, and they certainly take the practice up, in the words of Emeril Lagasse, the French chef, another notch. It was great. Today we're going to talk about, what stood out or who stood out. We're going to get into all of that, but I want to encourage you. I write a very detailed article every day of training camp, everything I saw. It's a lot of information on tons of players. I am moving around the entire practice, so make sure you please go read and check that out. I promise it'll be worth your time. So let's start first with Pete Carroll, since the moment he interviewed for this job, has talked about compete, 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 compete. And you're seeing it with this Raiders team right now. And there is a ton of competition. Man, there's a lot of really good young players. And, this isn't a Super Bowl team. They have too much youth to be that. But it is a very much improved team. I'm very much impressed with practices. I think the style of practices are by far the best I've seen since I've been here. Um, I'm very impressed with that. I'm impressed with the way that they compete. And just so you know, right off the top of the bat, there were a total of 7 penalties today that I saw. 3 of them were on special teams, and that's just literally, new guys who aren't used to NFL kickoff rules. Adapting to when they can go back. So that is nothing I would say to be concerned about. The 2 offensive ones were a little bit concerning because they were at the second team offensive line and it was learning timing. And remember, I don't discuss schematics. So it was on timing on a particular play. So I guess I'm not really worried about it because it's second stringers and they'll get it down. But with pads coming on tomorrow, they have to get it down quickly. And the 2 on the defense were simply defensive linemen jumping the cadence. Gino, and I think both times where Gino changed the cadence and got them. So again, none of them are really that concerning, but interesting. JT Woods, the young player out of Baylor, the Baylor Bear, the safety. Again, he just keeps doing stuff. Now, I need to explain this because I don't even know how many training camps this has been for me now. Tons. Literally, probably my 26th or 7th, something like that. But let me go and just share a couple things with you that I think will help you to garner what I mean. When you come into camp, there are guys that, they're camp bodies, and they're guys that you don't know, guys that, if they're going to make the team, they're going to have to really shine, or guys that, UDFAs, whatever. And it doesn't mean that they're bad people. It just means they're marginal players. Well, the way you make a football team, hey, it's a lot. Ashton Ginty's making the team. Okay. He's making the team. Most of the draft picks are going to make this team. But there are going to be some guys fighting to make this team. And the way you do it is to put tape on there. So when coaches are reviewing tape, they see you. So I want to talk about a couple of those guys, okay? The wide receiver, the safety, JT Woods. I talked about him the first time the other day, and bam, we're back here talking about him again today. Just little heat-seeking missile, man. He just finds ball, get ball. and didn't have an interception, but he's in the mix. His coverage was exceptionally good, very good actually. Uh, his ability to get in break up passes, his ability to read things. Again, do I think that JT Woods is going to make this roster? No. But I wouldn't have had him pegged, probably as a practice squad guy. He's coming. And he keeps making plays. And then we get into some preseason games. Come on now. Come on now. All of a sudden, you're sitting here and you're thinking, woozy daisy. Keep your eyes out for him. Another one, Alex Bachman, the wide receiver. I tell you this every time. I talk about him every time. He just makes plays. Today he made 2 or 3 of them. And you just see his effort, and then he slides over to special teams where if he's going to make this team, he's got to make it with special teams, and he's over there making plays. That kid has a legitimate shot to make the team. I'm not predicting it, but he's got a shot. Keep your eyes out for young Mr. Bachman now when the preseason games come along. Let's talk about Aiden O'Connell. Showed off that quick release again today. That was extremely impressive. And then sailed one. I would tell you that Geno Smith only had 1 bad pass today. I think Aiden probably had 4. Cam Miller, more than that. He's just a rookie learning. But man, Cam Miller stood in there. Wham! He had a 35-yard strike for a touchdown, or it wasn't a touchdown, but 35-yard strike to Kadir Ismail. And that ball was thrown on a wire. Good throw by Cam. Really liked him. It's just so easy to see what Tom Brady liked in him. The frame. I say this all the time. From the ankles up. And if you wonder what I mean by ankles, is sometimes he gets a little bit with his footwork, but he's a rookie from a small school. That's all normal. It's not abnormal. Aiden O'Connell, though, looked really, really good. Then he had some throws that I'm sure he wants back. Geno Smith, I got to tell you about this one. So how many times on this podcast have you heard me say, and when talking about Trey Tucker, is he would get open last year, then have to wait for the ball to get to him, and then the coverage would come. Geno Smith threw him, and they had a 70-yard touchdown today where the coverage was phenomenal. And Trucker just ran away from it. And the ball was in the air probably 60 to 65 yards, and then Trey ran it in. And, stride for stride. And he had to put the Jets on a little bit at the end to catch that ball. Geno had a cannon. And, man, I'll tell you what, if there was one thing that stood out to me today more than anything else, it would be that. Play of the day was a 70-yard strike Geno to Trey, and Trey never slowed down. Never slowed down. If you are a Raider fan, that right there, even if you weren't here, should make you stand up, scream hallelujah. It was a great play. And, man, Geno's cannon. Geno had another throw where it's an out to the sideline. And that is a very difficult play to make, going to your left, throwing the ball. And he's waiting for this wide receiver to get separation. And because if you throw it too quickly, he can jump the route and intercept the ball. So he has to wait. And then Geno throws this pass. And it was on a dart. It looked like it could have came out of a 30-06. It's a hunting rifle, by the way, if you don't know what that is. It looked like it could have came out of a 30-06. And he put it low into the ground. And I'm trying to remember who made that catch. For some reason, it was a 30-yard strike, but I'm trying to remember. It wasn't a touchdown. It was a 30-yard strike. For some reason, I think it was Dante Thornton. I don't know. But a brilliant catch, because it wasn't put in an easy place to catch, because he was putting it in a place where it couldn't get intercepted. Those are all things now that should just get you excited. Ashton Ginty, no pads. And so he had some really good stuff. But I'll tell you, the running back that really stood out today was Raheem Mostert. Now, I want to say this to you. Almost every time I've watched him play since he's been a Raider, I thought, what were the Dolphins thinking? What were they thinking? I know he was injured last year, but he had a play today where he put the Jets on. It's gone. I mean, I almost thought he was on a motorcycle, just gone. And I'm like, woo. People who are injured don't run like that. Now, no pads. Thank God. Aren't you jacked up that pads come on tomorrow? Come on now. Pads coming on tomorrow. Real football starts tomorrow. But it was really interesting just watching Raheem's speed today. And then I'll tell you another guy that showed off a little speed was Sincere. I, I I can't imagine that he's faster than what he was last year. But twice now this offseason, once in mandatory minicamp and once today, I thought, man, I don't remember him being that fast. But I thought he looked really well. Another um, player that really stood out to me today was DeCamerion Richardson. He was running with the ones, and watching him in coverage today, very comfortable. Now, I like that kid. Y'all know I like that kid. And I liked him last year. And I thought he played real good last year. For a rookie, I thought he played really well. He's picked up his game even. He was running with the ones today. Speaking about guys running with the ones, Dylan Parham was running with the ones again today on the left next to Colton. So it was Colton, Dylan, JPJ, Kappa, and the Mule. The Mule is having very impressive camp. Very impressive camp. There was a play today where he got that big, huge mitt. I mean, right up on that defender. Now, remember, there's no physical contact. It was just a nice little love tap and just kind of moved him away with one arm. And I was like, "Ooh, we see you, Mule." And a very good camp. I think Glaze is just shining. Jacoby Myers. I mean, he. I feel bad that I don't talk about Jacoby more other than pay the man. But I gotta tell you, I'm sitting there today, and he just makes it look so easy. Same way with Max Crosby. Max Crosby is not human. I mean, that guy just plays at such a high level. And I mean, there was a play today where Max was, I mean, he had done a blitz and gone right around his guy, and he is in Geno's face. Now, he hadn't tapped him yet, so it didn't count as a sack. And Geno released that football at a weird angle, which you got to learn that, and that just takes time as a veteran, and threw a beautiful throw. There was nothing Max could have done differently, and I felt bad for Geno. But I was like, whoa, I don't remember Geno getting rid of the ball that quick. That was impressive play by Max and an impressive play by Geno. But Max and Jacoby, they're just these guys. JPJ's that way. These are guys. Brock Bowers. I mean, Brock Bowers today, phenomenal. But these guys are so good all the time. It's like, yeah, it's Max. Yeah, Jacoby. Yeah, Brock. Yeah, JPJ. I mean, watching JPJ today, he is one of those guys that you just put behind glass and say, break glass on game day. I mean, watching JPJ trying to play without pads, you feel bad for the guy. You can tell he's like, I want to kill you. I love it. A couple times today, things got a little tense. Guys are ready for pads. I'm expecting there's going to be some fights tomorrow. Just these guys have been love tapping each other a little bit during training camp and mandatory. And I think they're ready to, in the words of Olivia Newton-John, get physical. I think they're ready to just hit somebody. Let's go. Man, excited for tomorrow. I want to talk to you about a couple of guys that I thought were really interesting. Tyrie Wilson has had a great camp, and I had a chance to talk to him. We got all that video up. I had a chance to talk to Tyrie about expectations. When the Raiders picked him, and you've heard me say it ad nauseum, they wanted year one to be a redshirt year. They had no expectations of it. And then year two, he was just getting healthy. He's having a great camp. And I asked him about it, and he said the expectations for him have always been there. And it is really interesting. And again, I can't give away any schematics, but it is very interesting the way that Patrick Graham and Robbie Leonard are using him. They are putting him all over the field, along the line of scrimmage. It's not like he's running corner, but they're putting him all over the field and just letting him use his length, and his speed and his quick twitch to really do some fascinating things. I am very impressed with Tyrie. But I thought it was interesting that he talked about um, expectations have always been there with him. I joked with Alex Kappa today. If you didn't know this, he played with Joe Burrow last year, and Joe gave all of his offensive linemen literally samurai swords that came with their history. Like, what samurai used it? It was a cool, if we're talking about a cool gift. Who doesn't like history, right? And I said, hey, have you been putting your vibes in with Gino for what you want for Christmas? Just having fun, little fun with him. I really like Cap a lot. I watching him play. He's a technician. He has really played well, and I've been impressed with Kappa. And it's been interesting to watch him. Another guy I want to talk about that surprised me today. I've already talked about him, but I want to go back and say some more. Is DeCamerion, and here's what surprised me about him today. I have never seen him communicate like he did today. And I don't mean trash talking. He was literally communicating, and it was very impressive. Another guy that was really impressive, Michael Mayer. He's having a really good camp. Him and Pete Carroll, when Pete got here, sat down and had an hour and a half meeting. And it was a meeting that Michael needed, just to hear Pete's mindset. What's Pete thinking? What is Pete thinking about with him? Michael has played really well this camp. I expect a monster year out of Michael Mayer. But another guy I want to chat about is IPM, Isaiah Palomao. Now, y'all remember when he was in UDFA, I was singing that guy's praises. I didn't think he was there early, and I said it. I don't think he's ready right now. And there's some guys on this team right now I don't think are ready, but boy, they're flashing like IPM did. And one of the things that has really impressed me, I saw it in OTAs. I saw it in mandatory minicamp, more in mandatory than OTAs. Or maybe it was more OTAs than minicamp. I don't remember, but it was one of the two. But I've seen it a lot this camp, and today a ton, is him barking out orders, being a leader. And I asked him about it and about, the process of going from you were a UDFA just trying to make a team to now you're barking out orders and you're a leader. I've always liked him. That has not changed. And I think with him, you guys are going to see him. I think the next level for him is to, get himself up in the top 5, 6, 7 guys in the NFL. I don't think he's a Pro Bowler yet. I still think he's a year away, but I think he'll be a Pro Bowler. I love the game of IPM, and I love watching the way he's growing. I'll tell you another one. You can see it all over Patrick Graham. The experimenting with this defense. He is trying a lot of new things, and some of it you're going to really, really like. I think most of it you're going to really, really like. And he's creating now because guys are healthy. Jonah Lalu, again, playing very well. I like that kid a lot. Amari Gaynor, again, just doing some stuff. Devin White. But one guy, I want to grab my sheet here. Uh, Elandon Roberts. I have got to tell you, the more I watch him and Devin White, man, I like those two guys, and I like them together. And Mostert, okay, and Eric Stokes, all four of those guys. Now that's not true. Landon wasn't injured, but Stokes is playing great. And then you look at Raheem playing great, and then you look at Devin White, great. And what do all three have in common? They were injured, and all guys showing no indication of injury. But Landon Roberts, he is. I wish I could think of the right word. He's a dominating player. He's a force at the Mike linebacker. But I am a little bit surprised at teaching. And let me explain what I mean. He comes off the field today and he grabs a guy that isn't even a linebacker that had been on the field with him, and he's teaching him. And I thought, man, you go, big dog. I like that guy. I like him a lot. I liked him before he got here, and you all know that. But I really like the way he's working and meshing with this team, and the team is listening to him. See, that's the big test. Not, just not like a Jeremy Chin comes in. They're listening to Chin. Okay, and a Landon comes in. They're listening. Now they're not always going to listen to new guys. You got to earn that right. Landon's earned it, and he's got a big voice. So there's just some things that turned out a lot more in my article and everything I saw. So please go read it and check it out. Tomorrow's pads. I'm going to have Zeke back here with me tomorrow on the podcast. Of course, he was covering everything today, but he's going to be back on the podcast with him tomorrow because we're going to be bringing you tons. And it's going to probably be a long podcast because it's the first day in pads. And we're going to see some stuff tomorrow now. And these guys are a little salty. A little salty. They're ready for some physical contact. They're ready to go make something happen. Let's go. Pads come on tomorrow. Hey, Raider Nation, would you do me a favor, please? On Threads and IG, my handle's at Hondo SR. On X, formerly known as Twitter, it's at Hondo Carpenter. And always, SI.com/NFL/Raiders. We bring you the best Raider coverage. You ain't going to beat it anywhere else. Check it out. We got 5 videos from today, plus the podcast, all of it. God bless y'all. Have a great day.